So now we're going to move into the three pieces of the pie. Last time I talked about the high moral character as the foundation of all of these three. And the first piece of the pie we're going to look at is growth mindset. And with the growth mindset, that's something it kind of ties in with the resilience like I talked about in the last one. To get a better idea of what a growth mindset is, I'm going to start out by talking about a fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset begins with this belief that I'm either good at this or I'm not. I'm either really good at music or I'm not good at music. I'm good at sports or I'm not good at sports. And if I start from that belief, it's fixed because it can't change. The gifts, the intelligence, the IQ, the skills, everything that I was born with is what I have. And what that means is if I wasn't born with that, I'm just not good at it. That's not in the cards for me. And what that leads to when I start with that belief, I end up avoiding challenges because if I try something and I'm not good at it, it's only going to prove that it's not part of my skill set, and that's going to be embarrassing or shameful. So I just don't try new things. If I'm already good at them, then I'm good at them. If I'm not, I can't improve anyway, so why try anything new? So I avoid challenging situations, whether that's trying math in grade school because I don't do well at it right away, or trying sports, or working with my hands, or trying for a better job. I avoid challenges because of that belief. The next thing it leads to is giving up easily. When I do try something, if it doesn't come together right away, then I quit. So it might mean like trying to learn how to play guitar. And that's really hard in the beginning. And I don't sound like the people on the CDs that I listen to. So it's just not for me. They just are good at this. Certain sports people, they're just good at sports. It comes naturally for them. And so if I try it and it doesn't work for me, or I'm embarrassed or whatever it is, I just quit. I give up easily. And then I'm also threatened by other people's success because the belief is they're successful because they were born with something I wasn't. And then that's not fair. And because of that, I'm threatened by them because their success points out the fact that I'm a failure. Because if I'm not good at something and I have this belief that I can't change, then I feel like I'm a failure. And being around people that are successful ends up amplifying that. So I'm threatened by other people's success. Now let's look at a growth mindset. A growth mindset starts with a completely different belief, and all of these other things build on that belief. So this starts with the belief that abilities and intelligence can develop with practice. Which means if I'm not good at it yet, of course I'm not good at it. If I'm trying to play guitar and I've never played before, of course I'm not good at it. Why would I be? I need to practice. Even the best players practice a lot to get good at what they're good at. The idea of Michael Jordan was one who practiced longer and harder than other people on the team. It wasn't just that he was a gifted basketball player. He tried really, really, really hard. And so I have this belief, I choose to believe that the abilities and the intelligence that I have can be developed. Now, what that does, the behaviors it leads to, that challenges, I believe that challenges are an opportunity to grow. So instead of avoiding challenges, I almost look for challenges because I want to grow. So I'm going to try things I'm not good at. And I'm not going to get down on myself for failing because that's what people do when they're not good at something. But I believe that if I keep trying and if I practice and if I get extra help from the outside, I get coaching, I'll get better at it. So now I'm going to be excited about challenges instead of avoiding challenges. If I do fail, I'm going to embrace it as a way to learn as opposed to proof that I'm a failure. See, failing doesn't mean I'm a failure. Failing is an activity. Being a failure is an identity. And if I look at it as my identity is somebody who can grow and can learn, then when I fail, I can use failure as a way to learn. That, okay, I tried this and it didn't work. Let me try it a different way. And then failing is just stepping stones to get me to where I want to be instead of a glaring revelation of how bad I really am. And then I persist despite difficulties because I believe that if I continue to try, if I continue to practice, if I continue to learn new ways to do things that aren't working, then I am going to accomplish and I am going to be successful. And then that gives me the willingness and the desire to persist in something. That leads right into that resilience that I was talking about in the last video. So because I believe I can change, I'm willing to take challenges, I'm willing to actually embrace failure, and then I'm willing to persist and to keep going because that's what's going to take me to where I want to be. So this growth mindset is something that I want you to really practice and develop as you're working on these skills that I'm teaching you. The next piece of the puzzle that we are going to talk about is critical thinking. So until then, have a great day.